Hey everybody, it's Kim, the Homeschooling Grammy, coming at you today with a Q&A from questions that people actually asked me in a request video that I did recently. And the request video actually came about because I had a couple of other YouTubers come to me and ask me what were some of the differences between homeschooling my children back then and now homeschooling my granddaughter. So I was like, you know what, that's kind of a good idea. Maybe I should just put some feelers out there to see what kind of questions people may have. If you haven't been to my channel before, my name is Kim. I'm the Homeschooling Grammy. I am a mom to 3 grown daughters. I am a grandmother to 4 granddaughters. And we homeschool our 6-year-old grandchild who lives with us full time. And my husband and I have been married for almost 18 years, and we are raising this little precious little girl together, and we just thought it would be kind of cool to share our lives with everybody. So if this is something that you're interested in, stick around and I'll get started with the questions that people asked and my answers. Okay, question number 1. This question came from Diaries of a Homeschool Mom. She says, do you feel you're more relaxed while homeschooling your grandbaby than you did your daughters? Times have changed and everything seems so much more relaxed now. Yeah, definitely way more relaxed this time. It's like when you get older, you take a chill pill with age, quite literally. Not saying that, I'm completely relaxed all the time, but I'm definitely a lot better than I used to be. You just learn as you get older not to sweat the little things, that some things are not such a big deal. It's not such a big deal if, like your child isn't performing at what you have in your mind that you think they should be performing at. I'm not into the whole comparing my homeschool to other people's homeschools. I'm not into the whole worrying about, oh, well, that child's 6 years old and they can read at a 4th grade reading level. Well, that's awesome for that child. Every child is different. So, yeah, I'm much more relaxed in that respect. I just want to take the time to enjoy this time with my grandchild, and just be there and in the moment and not worrying so much about oh my goodness, like we didn't cover this much material today, or whatever the worry might be for that moment. So yeah, I would say that that's my biggest thing. I'm just like way more relaxed. I enjoy this time because it goes by so fast. It just feels like yesterday that I was homeschooling my own girls, and now here I am, a grandmother to 4 girls and homeschooling one of them. So it's a neat experience, and I just want to enjoy every second of it. Okay, question number 2. This question was also from Diaries of a Homeschool Mom, and her question was, what is different about teaching your granddaughter from when you taught your children? Well, first off, the amazing amount of information that is literally at my fingertips. I mean, all you got to do is get on your phone, get on your laptop. It's so simple. I can remember having to call curriculum places, and I'm trying to think. I don't remember there really being anything, but maybe christianbooks.com, if I remember. It's been a Christian book. It wasn't even .com back then, but Christian books, and you'd call them and they would send you a catalog. So you'd have this thick catalog and you'd have to flip through all these pages of curriculum to try to figure out what you were going to use, and the only thing that you have was like this little tiny description of the curriculum. If you were lucky, maybe there was somebody in your area that would be using a curriculum that you were interested in, but most generally, no, because it was in the mid-90s for me. So there was like not a whole lot of people were homeschooling, first off. And if you want to hear about how I got into homeschooling way back then, that can be in a different video. Just let me know down in the comments and I would be happy to answer those questions for you. But yeah, so I just love the instantaneous information that you can get, the research that you can do, whether it be through YouTube. And I'm a huge YouTube junkie. Obviously now I have my own channel, so I was thinking all this time, I'm like, you know what? Maybe I have something to bring to the table. I don't know of any other grandparents that are homeschooling their grandchildren. I mean, I'm sure they're out there, but I haven't met them in YouTube world. So if any of you are out there, that would be totally awesome to connect up. And also the curriculum now, it's not just like workbooks, like there's so much out there. There's hands-on and there's Charlotte Mason style and there's, I mean, the array of stuff is just mind-blowing to me. There's so many choices. You can totally cater to your child's learning style. And you can go out there and actually have conversations with other people to find out what is working for their child, based on maybe needs that your child and their child may have in common. It's just an awesome forum now. So yeah, there's the answer to that question. Okay, on to the next question. And this question comes from Jessica. And Jessica asked, what is the one thing you wished you would have done different with homeschooling your children? I would say my biggest thing that I wished is that I would have been more relaxed about the whole thing. It was such a new endeavor back then, and you're nervous. You want to make sure that you're doing it all right, and I was so clued into just academics and oh my goodness, my child needs to be at this level because that's what the rest of first grade is or third grade is or whatever grade it was that I was teaching that year. And in retrospect now, I wish that I could have been more relaxed about the whole thing and just really try to enjoy that time more because it went by so quickly. And also, I wish I would have the confidence that I have now. It's weird. We have confidence in so many different areas of our lives, but society has made it seem like we as parents can't have confidence in teaching our own children. And really, how ridiculous is that? Because we're teaching them from the moment they're born. We are their biggest teacher that they'll ever have, because from the moment they're born, we are teaching them how to live, giving them our morals. We're, teaching them how to tie their shoes, or, potty training. That was fun. All those wonderful things. But why, when we get to 5 years old, do we as parents all of a sudden think, oh, I can't do this. I have to send them to school because obviously I'm not qualified to teach my children because society has told me I'm not qualified to teach my child. And that's just not correct. I think that we are our best teacher for our children. And, it's my opinion. And I think that public schools and private schools and all of that are wonderful. And each family needs to make their own decisions. And for us, homeschooling was the decision that worked for us. So that's my answer to that question. Okay, on to the next question. This question is also from Jessica. Any advice as a veteran homeschool mom to us in the trenches? Well, I remember very well those young days doing homeschool for the first time and being in the trenches, because there were days that it just really does feel that way. And I'm not saying that it doesn't feel that way this time, because sometimes it does, but not nearly as much. And I think, like I said earlier, some of it has to do just with being older and being more chilled out, or whatever you want to call it at this point. It really, you change as you grow older. And there's a different kind of love when you have your grandchildren anyways. It's hard to explain, and once you become a grandparent, you kind of get mushy anyway. So I think that's part of it too. But my biggest advice would be to just slow down and enjoy this time with your children. It's mind blowing to me how quickly the time went by, and that my little girls are not little girls anymore, but they're grown women with families of their own. My oldest will be 30 soon, very, very soon. I have a 30-year-old, a 27-year-old, and a 26-year-old. How did that happen? How did I become a grandmother 4 times? It's just craziness. And so just relax and enjoy it, and cuddle with your children and read them stories and just eat up every minute that you have with them. Because before you know it, the first one leaves, and then the next one leaves, and goes on with their lives. And that's what we are doing, and that is our purpose, is to raise up children, and in our case, children that love the Lord and want to and just be successful people and raise their own families. Let me see what else. I don't want to forget what else I had to say about this, because I thought it was important. Pray a ton. Pray all the time. Pray over your kids. Pray with your kids. Let them know how much they're loved. And I mean, sometimes life isn't it's not easy always. Sometimes things don't happen the way that you had hoped for, and that's okay too. And we're not perfect. Nobody is a perfect parent, but I serve a perfect God. And so there's not a problem out there that is too large, because He is the God over everything and everyone. So it's not my problem, it's His problem. So when you're in those trenches and you just feel like, oh my goodness, I don't know if I can do this today. So if you can't do this today, sometimes it's okay to say, you know what? This day is a wash. It's all right. Let's do something else. Let's go outside. Let's watch a movie, an educational movie. Let's just do something else, and that's okay too. So I hope this helps. Okay, on to the next question. And this person also asked 2 questions. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to answer these 2 questions, and then I'm going to call it a wrap for this video, because I don't want it to be too terribly long. And then what I'll do is there'll be part 2. So anyways, this question is from Amber. Name 3 of your favorite memories from homeschooling your own kids. So it took me a while to answer this question, actually, because I'm thinking I enjoyed every moment with my kids. I was never one of those parents that didn't want to be with my kids. I've just always wanted to be with them. And that was the hardest part of the letting go process as they became adults, was like, oh my goodness, I can't spend, every day with them anymore. They get married and they have their own lives, and now I have these wonderful grandchildren instead. But anyways, one of my favorite memories was some of the field trips that we took. It was so funny. We would maybe do overnights somewhere, or we would, just decide to do a day trip, and the girls would be like, yep, it's always got to be about learning, doesn't it, Mom? And I was like, yeah, it kind of does. But they ended up always having a really good time. But some of my favorite field trips that I was thinking back on, we did the Hers potato chip factory tour. That was a super cool tour. At the end, you got like fresh hot potato chips. So that was really fun. We really loved Mount Vernon. And we loved the Smithsonian's in DC and Jamestown in Virginia. Back then we were living in Maryland, so everything was really close by. So it was really cool. We could usually get to some of these places within a couple of hours or less. I mean, we could get into DC on the train, be there in like 45 minutes. So it was really awesome that we had all of this stuff right at our fingertips. So that was really cool. Let me see, another favorite memory. Like I said before, just being together, being silly, playing pranks. My middle daughter was the queen of playing pranks. She loved to prank people and scare people half to death. Kylie was a master. I can't tell you how many times I about jumped out of my skin because she liked to play pranks and stuff like that. Rides in the car. We used to always play games in the car. I really love those times when we would play these different games in the car. We'd play like the ABC game and, just silly, goofy games, or they used to love to play the punch bug game, but of course, you had to watch out for the punch bug game because sometimes those punches got to be a little bit more than they should have been. But yeah, I just enjoyed all of it. I just loved being a mom, and I still love being a mom, and I really love being a grandmother. It's like one of the best things that I've ever done. Okay, so we're going to do the last question for this video because it's already getting pretty long, and it's still from Amber, and her next question was, 3 things you are enjoying now as you homeschool your granddaughter. Well, of course, it's time spent with her because the kid cracks me up on a daily basis. She is just so funny and witty and outgoing and happy. She's just a joy to be around. So that in itself is, gives me joy. I don't even need these other reasons, but I really enjoy snuggling up with her and reading books together and picking a favorite movie to watch. Just all of these things. And I'm just so much, like I said before, relaxed about things. And she, she has the sense of wonderment every time there's something new that she's learning about, especially if it's something that she's interested in. Wow, she'll just take right off with it, and she's just amazing. There's been a couple of times that, I'll be over visiting my father and we'll be talking about something, and usually it's, he likes nature shows and that kind of stuff, which is also my granddaughter's favorite thing to watch. And one day I can't even remember what it was. It was about some animal, whether it was nocturnal or not, and what it ate. And my granddaughter, I'll come all this information that she knew about. And my dad and I are kind of looking at each other going, how does she know this? And is it fact? And sure enough, I looked it up. The kid spewed this stuff out verbatim. So just when you think that maybe your kids aren't paying attention, they really are paying attention. She's a sponge, and it's so fun. Yeah, so I mean, 3 things. What other 3 things? There's just everything. Every day is a new adventure. We don't know what it is going to bring, what we are going to do. I have a plan in the planner. Do we necessarily follow it verbatim? No. If we decide at the last minute that we're going to be going somewhere, we just do that. And actually, we just did a really cool trip the other day, and the video will be coming out in a couple of days. And actually, it will probably already have come out by the time I get this video uploaded, but it's a day at the farm, and it was a last minute decision for us, and we're not sorry we did it. It was so much fun. So I will try to make sure I remember to link it up here, down here. I don't know. I still don't know where all this stuff goes, but anyways, I will make sure to link that video. So all right, everybody, that's a wrap for now. There will definitely be a second video coming out in the real near future, where I will answer the rest of the questions that I have thus far. If there are any questions that you might have, please feel free to ask down in the comments section below. I would be happy to answer them for you. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks so much for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you will be notified when I upload new videos. Talk to you soon.